Wait, what if everything you thought you knew about your life flipped overnight? What if the struggle, the pain, and the loneliness you've been carrying were all leading to this moment? A moment where everything changes, where somebody or something is now fiercely defending you. Spirit warriors, get ready, because this isn't just another video. This is a divine message, a wake-up call to your soul. Have you ever felt like you're living a movie where you're the hero, but you're stuck in the endless training montage? You know, the part where you're running up mountains, punching logs, and getting beat down, all while the villain is out there living their best life? Well, guess what? The training montage is over. The credits are about to roll on your old life, and the sequel, the one where you're a crowned champion, is just getting started. You've been through a lot. The silent battles, the betrayals that cut deeper than any blade, the moments of doubt that made you question everything you are. You've walked through valleys of shadows so dark, you wondered if the sun would ever shine on you again, and let me tell you, that's not by accident. That's a divine boot camp, a forge where your soul was hammered, sharpened, and purified. It's a testament to your resilience, your strength, and your unwavering faith. You didn't just survive, you prepared. You didn't just endure, you evolved. A few months ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, a real chosen one if there ever was one. She'd been through a period of intense spiritual attack and hardship. Everything that could go wrong did. Her finances were a mess. Her relationships were crumbling, and she felt completely alone, like she was screaming into an empty void. She was at her lowest point, questioning her faith, her purpose, and her very identity. She told me, "I feel like I'm in a fight with an invisible enemy and I'm losing." But then something shifted. It started with small things. A sudden, unexpected check in the mail. A long-lost friend reaching out with a powerful word of encouragement. Then it got bigger. The very people who had wronged her, who had gossiped and spread lies, suddenly started facing consequences. It wasn't her doing. It was like an unseen force was stepping in, a divine bouncer showing up at the cosmic club of her life, saying, "You mess with this one, you mess with me." Her enemies started defending her. People who had once talked behind her back were now coming to her defense, sharing her side of the story and setting the record straight. She wasn't fighting anymore, she was being fought for. That's the kind of divine protection, that's the kind of cosmic shift we're talking about today. The kind of shift that makes your enemies your footstool and that turns your pain into your power and your setbacks into your setups. This is a powerful, profound moment of validation for you. You're not crazy, you're not alone. You are seen, you are heard, and you are fiercely, ferociously defended by forces beyond your wildest imagination. So, spirit warriors, if you've been feeling this shift, if you've been wondering why your life feels like it's been turned upside down in the best possible way, then this video is for you. We're going to break down the 7 signs that everything has flipped overnight and that somebody is now defending you fiercely. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for the last point. It's a game changer. As the great Maya Angelou once said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Let's dive in. Point 1, the sudden unexpected favor. You know those moments when life suddenly feels like it's rolling out a red carpet for you, spirit warrior? When opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere, timing feels eerily perfect, and you're almost suspicious of how smooth things are going. That's not coincidence, that's cosmic orchestration. The universe doesn't deal in random accidents when it comes to destiny. What you're experiencing is alignment, pure and powerful alignment between your inner world and the energetic currents around you. It's the result of the seeds you've been planting through faith, discipline, and inner work finally breaking the surface. Scientists might call it a combination of psychology and probability. You've been focused on a goal, so you recognize and seize opportunities faster. But spiritually, it's much deeper. It's divine reciprocity. You've shown up for your calling, and now the universe is showing up for you. Think about it. Every rejection, delay, and closed door you faced before wasn't a punishment. It was precision. You weren't ready, or the opportunity wasn't mature enough to serve your growth. Now, because you've been training your mind, cleansing your spirit, and guarding your energy, you've become magnetic to the right circumstances. This is why you might suddenly get that job offer without even applying. Meet the exact person who holds the key to your next chapter, or find yourself in the right place at the right time in a way you couldn't have engineered. It's not just your turn. It's your harvest season. And harvest doesn't come without a planting season first. Here's the thing. Most people miss this moment because they're too distracted or too doubtful to recognize it. But spirit warriors, you know better. You've been in the trenches long enough to feel when the spiritual winds shift in your favor. You've battled self-doubt, walked away from toxic situations, and learned how to protect your peace at all costs. Those weren't wasted battles, they were calibrations. And now the universe can trust you with more because you've proven you won't squander it. It's like that ancient saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Only in this case, the teacher might be an opportunity, a partnership, or a divine connection. And here's where it gets thrilling. You don't have to force anything. This is not about chasing, it's about aligning. When you're in tune with your purpose, life doesn't feel like an uphill battle anymore. You flow with it, you ride its current, and the right doors swing open without you pounding on them. So, spirit warrior, start living like someone the universe is conspiring for, because it is. Speak boldly about your goals, carry yourself like the opportunities are already yours, and prepare your hands for the blessings you've been praying for. Keep in mind, these openings aren't just rewards, they're responsibilities. Every new door you walk through comes with its own test to see if you can hold the space you've been given. Stay humble, stay sharp, and don't forget the work that got you here. The truth is, you didn't get lucky. You got aligned. And alignment is the most powerful currency in existence. When you match your vibration to the frequency of your calling, the entire universe shifts to accommodate you. That's why things are falling into place so effortlessly. It's not magic, it's mastery. You've mastered patience, resilience, and faith. And now you're reaping exactly what you've sown. Walk through those doors, spirit warrior. They were built for you long before you even knew they existed. Point 2, your enemies suddenly become your advocates. You want to know one of the funniest, most satisfying, and yet most spiritual things you'll ever witness on your warrior path? It's when the very mouths that once spit venom suddenly start speaking honey about you. I'm talking about the same people who rolled their eyes when your name came up, the ones who whispered, "Just watch, they'll fail," behind your back, now telling others how you've always been a good person, or, "Yeah, they've really come a long way." Oh no, spirit warrior. They didn't suddenly see the light on their own. This is bigger than them. This is divine chess, and the higher power is moving the pieces. What you're seeing is not a change of heart. It's a change of control. Here's what makes it so wild. When truth is undeniable, even your enemies can't twist it without looking foolish. Spiritually speaking, this phenomenon is often referred to as forced vindication. The universe, or if you're a believer, God himself, orchestrates situations where the people who spoke against you have no choice but to reverse their words. Not because they want to, but because the circumstances demand it. It's like a celestial court ruling, and they just got called as an unwilling witness for your defense. They'll end up complimenting your work in a meeting, recommending you for opportunities, or even defending you in conversations they never thought you'd hear about. And the best part, half the time they don't even realize they're doing it. Now there's a psychological layer to this too. Studies in social dynamics show that people often conform to the dominant narrative in a room. And when your life starts radiating undeniable results, that narrative changes. The same person who once felt powerful tearing you down will now feel foolish contradicting the obvious. And here's where it gets funny. Some will even try to rewrite history, subtly acting as if they were rooting for you all along. Spirit warrior, you don't have to correct them. The universe already did. And make no mistake, this is not about your haters suddenly becoming better people. Nope, this is spiritual irony in its purest form. Imagine it like a divine Jedi mind trick. They're not defending you because their heart melted. They are defending you because their tongue has been spiritually handcuffed. Their own credibility now depends on acknowledging yours. That's why it feels so satisfying. It's not just karma, it's poetic justice. From a faith perspective, this lines up perfectly with the biblical concept that he prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. It doesn't say your enemies will suddenly love you. It says they'll have to watch, acknowledge, and sometimes even participate in your victory. The higher power is not petty, but he is precise. He knows exactly how to turn the narrative so that the very people who fueled rumors become unwilling ambassadors of your truth. And here's the lesson for you. When this happens, don't gloat. Don't post a cryptic, "Look who's defending me now" status. Instead, smile. Because this isn't about proving you were right. It's about proving you were chosen. You kept walking in integrity when it would have been easy to clap back. You let your growth do the talking, and now the higher power is making sure everyone hears it, even through the mouths that once tried to silence you. So, Spirit Warrior, when you witness this divine reversal, remember, you didn't just win. You became the living proof that no amount of slander can override God's blueprint for your life. And that's not just powerful, it's hilarious, it's humbling, and it's a reminder that the ultimate clapback is silence, followed by destiny speaking for you. Point 3, a deep sense of inner peace and unshakable confidence. Remember when you used to wake up with that heavy knot in your stomach, Spirit Warrior? That quiet sense of dread that followed you from sunrise to sunset like an uninvited shadow? It was the constant soundtrack of your life, every decision second-guessed, every interaction analyzed, every silence filled with imagined judgment. That anxiety wasn't random, it was the byproduct of living in survival mode for too long, of always scanning the horizon for danger. It's what psychologists call hypervigilance, a state where your nervous system is permanently stuck in high alert. But now, it's gone. Not because the world suddenly became safe, but because you've stepped into a deeper truth. You are not fighting alone anymore. What replaced that anxiety is something far more powerful and far quieter. It's a calm that feels unshakable, a confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. You can't fully explain it to others because it's not just a mindset, it's a knowing. Somewhere deep in your soul, you've realized that you are protected spiritually, energetically, divinely. This isn't wishful thinking. Across cultures and faiths, there's a recurring truth. When a person aligns with their higher calling and lives in integrity, they draw protection that can't be measured by human means. In Christianity, it's described as God being your refuge and fortress. In Buddhism, it's the unshakable equanimity that comes from enlightenment. In indigenous traditions, it's the sense that your ancestors walk beside you, unseen but present. That's why you're no longer obsessing over the future. You've stopped rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind because you've realized that fear doesn't prevent storms. It just robs you of the sunlight between them. Now you live with the awareness that storms are inevitable, but so is your resilience. You've met enough battles to know that you don't break, you bend, you adapt, and you rise. And that kind of faith, it's magnetic. People can feel it before you speak. Here's the fascinating part. Science backs this up. Studies on mindfulness and spiritual grounding show that when you believe you're supported by something greater than yourself, your brain's stress responses literally change. The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fight or flight, stays calmer. Your heart rate steadies. Your body stops producing as much cortisol, the stress hormone that once kept you wired and exhausted. You're no longer a slave to adrenaline. You've become a master of presence. And this is why your peace has become unshakable. It's not built on the illusion that life will always go your way. It's built on the unshakable fact that you will still be standing no matter what comes your way. That anchor you feel, that's the quiet companionship of something ancient and fierce, whether you call it God, Source, Spirit, the universe, or the warrior spirit within you. It's the rock that refuses to move even when waves crash against it. It's the shield that takes the hit before it reaches you. Most people think peace is the result of their circumstances improving. But Spirit Warrior, yours is different. Your peace causes your circumstances to improve. When you move through life without desperation, you make clearer choices. When you aren't acting out of fear, you stop accepting crumbs from people and situations that don't deserve you. That's why opportunities have been finding you. That's why the wrong people can't stand to be around you anymore, because you no longer vibrate on the frequency of chaos. So here you are, no longer flinching at every shadow, no longer doubting your own steps. You don't need to explain your peace, because those meant for you will feel it, and those not meant for you will be repelled by it. You've become a living testament to the fact that real power is quiet and real protection is invisible, and that, Spirit Warrior, is why the storms no longer own you. You own the storm. Point 4, divine revelations and clear guidance. When your spiritual radar suddenly switches to high alert, it's not random. It's a sign that something big is shifting in your spiritual battlefield. Spirit Warriors know this isn't just a phase or some quirky coincidence. It's an upgrade in your divine operating system. You're not just walking through life anymore. You're navigating it with an advanced internal GPS that the divine has personally recalibrated for your mission. Those repeating numbers you keep seeing, 1111, 2222, maybe even 444, aren't just cute patterns for Instagram posts. In spiritual numerology, these sequences are widely recognized as angelic codes or divine signatures. For instance, 1111 often symbolizes a portal opening for manifestation, while 2222 is a reminder of divine alignment and balance. They're not just coincidences, they're encrypted messages meant to snap your awareness into focus. Your dreams may also start feeling less like random Netflix episodes and more like prophetic previews. Vivid, detailed, and emotionally charged. This happens because your subconscious is syncing with higher realms, where your spirit team operates without the noise of your conscious mind. Science even backs this up in its own way. Research shows that dreams often mirror your emotional and intuitive state, meaning if your soul is getting downloads, your dreams are one of the first places they'll show up. And those gut feelings you've been having, that strong pull to take a certain route home, call a certain person, or decline an offer without knowing exactly why. That's spiritual intel in real time. It's your defender, a guardian presence assigned to you, whispering directions straight into your heart, bypassing logic so you don't overthink your way out of divine timing. For spirit warriors, this guidance isn't just comforting, it's strategic. Think of yourself as a soldier on the front lines of light work. The battlefield isn't always visible, but it's real, and the enemy thrives on confusion and distraction. That's why your defender is heightening your awareness now, so you can anticipate, pivot, and strike with precision in both the physical and spiritual arenas. Ignoring these signs is like having a map that leads straight to treasure, but deciding to wander without it. Every number, dream, or intuitive nudge is a breadcrumb placed deliberately along your path to keep you moving toward your destiny without falling into traps meant to derail you. The more you listen, the sharper your discernment becomes. Soon, you'll notice that you're no longer questioning whether something is a sign. You'll just know. Your confidence will grow, not because you suddenly have all the answers, but because you trust the source giving you the instructions. That trust is magnetic, intimidating to those still wandering in spiritual static. They'll wonder how you're always in the right place at the right time, how you dodge chaos like it's choreographed. But the truth is simple. You're not guessing. You're being guided. So, spirit warrior, keep your spiritual radar tuned. Write down the numbers, record the dreams, act on the intuitions. Because your defender isn't just protecting you from harm, they're positioning you for victory. And when you follow the breadcrumbs faithfully, you won't just arrive at your destiny. You'll step into it fully armored, fully prepared, and fully aware that you were never walking this path alone. The divine has been navigating you the entire time. You just finally learned how to read the map. Point 5, the release of old baggage and trauma. Spirit warriors, here's the thing. True healing rarely looks like what the movies tell you. There's no dramatic music swelling as you suddenly forgive someone in a moment of epiphany. No, real spiritual healing is quieter, more profound, and often catches you off guard. One day you wake up and realize the sting is gone. The name that once made your stomach twist now just feels like any other name. The memory that used to keep you up at night suddenly has no power over you. It's not that you've forgotten the pain or pretended it never happened. No, you remember it clearly, but you're no longer living inside it. That's the difference between human willpower and divine healing. Science backs this up too. Studies on trauma recovery show that when the brain processes emotional wounds, certain neural pathways that once fired up at the thought of a hurtful event begin to weaken. In neuroscience, this is called extinction learning, where the emotional charge attached to a memory diminishes over time when your brain rewires itself in healthier ways. But here's the wild part. When divine intervention steps in, this rewiring doesn't take years of effort. It can happen in what feels like an instant. That's because spiritual healing doesn't just work on the mind, it works on the soul, the deepest part of you where human psychology can't reach. Imagine carrying around a heavy cloak soaked in rainwater. It weighs you down, makes every step harder. That's what unhealed pain feels like. You've been walking with it so long you forget it's even there until one day, without warning, it's gone. No slow peeling away, no back and forth struggle. One moment it's part of you, the next it's been lifted. This is what happens when your defender, your divine protector, decides it's time for you to be free. You didn't force it and you didn't beg for it in the exact moment, yet it came. And it came because you were finally ready to step forward without dragging the weight of your past behind you. Psychologists say forgiveness is as much for the forgiver as it is for the forgiven. But spirit warriors know there's another layer, spiritual release. This isn't just about deciding, I'm over it. It's about your spirit no longer carrying the energetic imprint of that hurt. Ancient traditions call it soul cleansing. Some spiritual healers refer to it as breaking the soul tie. Whatever name you give it, the result is the same. You're not just free mentally, you're free spiritually. And here's the beauty. When this happens, it's not a sign of weakness or letting someone off the hook. It's a sign of strength, of reclaiming the parts of yourself that pain once held hostage. You're not excusing what was done, you're simply refusing to let it dictate the rest of your life. The people who wronged you don't get to be the authors of your future chapters. You do. Spirit warriors, understand this. When you're divinely healed, your energy changes. You stop reacting the way you used to. And that can be unsettling to those who thrived on your pain. They might try to poke at old wounds, just to see if they can still get the same reaction, but you'll notice their attempts feel small now, powerless, because the hooks they once had in you are gone, dissolved in the light of your healing. So when you find yourself no longer triggered by the things that once broke you, know that you've stepped into a new season. You're lighter now, stronger. And this strength isn't loud, it's steady, grounded, and unshakable. This is what it means to walk forward as a spirit warrior, unburdened, unbound, and ready for the battles that truly matter. Point 6. The right people show up at the right time. Ever felt like you were speaking a different language, even when you were surrounded by people who claim to know you? Spirit warriors, this is the moment when the universe flips the script. You've been walking through seasons where you were misunderstood, underestimated, and even subtly pushed aside. But that isolation wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You were being fine-tuned, sharpened, and spiritually upgraded, so that when the right souls entered your life, you'd recognize them instantly. And now the shift has begun. The divine is sending in your tribe, your spiritual cavalry, the people who see not just what you do, but who you are. These aren't casual acquaintances or fair-weather friends. These are battle-tested allies, your soul family, strategically placed to protect, encourage, and elevate you. Science even supports the power of this alignment. Psychologists call it social resonance, the phenomenon where like-minded, value-aligned individuals naturally gravitate toward each other. When your energy changes, when you step into authenticity, it acts like a frequency, attracting others, vibrating on that same level. That's why you'll notice these new people just get you without lengthy explanations. They'll mirror your greatness back to you because they're not threatened by it, they're inspired by it. And let's be real, this isn't just about finding people you vibe with over coffee and deep talks. This is a divine defense system forming around you. Spiritually, your soul family operates like armor. They spot threats before you do. They hold you accountable when your fire dims. They become the echo chamber for your victories when the world tries to downplay them. In ancient warrior cultures, tribes moved as one unit. If one warrior was under attack, the rest formed a circle, shields up, defending their own. That's exactly what's happening in your life now, except the shields of faith, loyalty, and truth. The beauty of this alignment is that it doesn't come through force or networking. It comes through being who you really are. The people who are stepping into your life now are not here because of what you can do for them. They're here because of who you've become. They're here to run with you, to remind you you're not crazy for dreaming big, to celebrate the small wins and to stand steady in the storms. So, Spirit Warrior, embrace this shift. These souls are not random. They are answers to prayers you might not even remember praying. Together you'll move with precision, power, and purpose. You're no longer walking alone. You're marching with a tribe built for victory. Point 7. The final and most powerful sign. A deep-seated awareness of your worth. This is the turning point, Spirit Warriors. The moment the fog lifts and you finally grasp why you've walked through fire. For so long, life may have felt like an endless test, an uphill battle where everyone else seemed to glide effortlessly downstream while you struggled against the current. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you're being punished or singled out unfairly, but the deeper truth is far more empowering. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. Each challenge you faced, every heartbreak, betrayal, and setback, was never a random act of cruelty. Instead, they were the precise tools carving and sharpening you into something unbreakable. These experiences honed your instincts and fortified your spirit for a mission only you are uniquely equipped to accomplish. Look back at history's greatest warriors, leaders, and visionaries, and you'll see a common thread. All endured seasons of solitude and struggle before rising to their destiny. Nelson Mandela spent 27 grueling years in prison, isolated and stripped of freedom, yet emerged to lead his nation out of apartheid and into reconciliation. Harriet Tubman, before becoming the Moses of her people, risked her life again and again, leading others to liberation, her courage forged through unimaginable hardship. These aren't mere coincidences, they reveal a divine law of preparation that transcends time and culture. Just as a sword must be forged in fire to become strong and sharp, you had to be refined in adversity to be ready for the greatness ahead. When this realization settles within you, something profound shifts. You stop apologizing for simply existing. No longer do you dim your light to make others feel comfortable. Instead, you stand taller, speak with clarity, and move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they've been chosen for a higher purpose. The old doubts, those nagging fears that once whispered, "You're not enough," begin to dissolve. You come to understand that the very storms that nearly broke you were the winds that carried you to a new, elevated ground. This awakening is transformative. It rewires your perspective from victimhood to victory, from confusion to clarity. What's most liberating is that this transformation isn't about physical strength or external validation. It's about an inner power that radiates from divine assurance. This is not arrogance, but a deep knowing, a spiritual armor that makes you untouchable. Insults bounce off, jealousy loses its bite, and fear no longer controls your decisions. This armor is built from the unwavering understanding of who you are, and more importantly, whose you are. That knowledge anchors you in purpose and aligns your actions with something far greater than momentary struggles or worldly approval. You begin to operate from a place of integrity, courage, and unwavering resolve. This moment marks your evolution from survivor to champion. You no longer merely endure each day, you actively shape your legacy. You realize that your calling is not to blend in or conform, but to stand out boldly and authentically, to live without fear, to embrace your unique path, and to shine with the fierce light that only a chosen soul can carry. As you step fully into this role, the world responds. People notice your presence. They feel the energy you carry. Some will be inspired by your strength and authenticity, while others may feel threatened by it. A natural response when someone refuses to be confined by ordinary limits. But in either case, you have become what you were always meant to be, a chosen one, fiercely protected by both seen and unseen forces, prepared and resolute, ready to face the world with unshakable confidence. This truth isn't just poetic encouragement, it's rooted in psychology and spirituality alike. Neuroscience shows that our brains actually reshape themselves through adversity, a process called neuroplasticity, meaning that every hardship rewires you toward resilience and wisdom. Spiritually, many traditions speak of purification through trials, a metaphorical fire that burns away impurities to reveal the pure essence beneath. It's no accident that nearly every great myth and spiritual journey includes a dark night of the soul, a period of deep challenge before rebirth. This universal pattern confirms that your struggles are integral to your transformation. So when you next face hardship, remember this turning point. The fire you walk through is not a punishment, but a sacred forge. The pain you feel is a sign that you're being prepared for a purpose greater than you've yet imagined. And once you embrace this truth, you step into a power so profound it changes everything, your mindset, your relationships, and your destiny. You become not just unbreakable, but unstoppable, a spirit warrior ready to claim the life you were born to lead. Chosen ones, now that you hold this powerful truth, what do you do with it? You rise with confidence, fully embracing your purpose and the extraordinary path set before you. Understanding that you are deeply loved and divinely protected transforms your entire outlook, no longer a victim of circumstance, but a victor riding the cosmic tide. Science shows that when we align with purpose, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, fueling motivation and joy. The universe isn't just random chaos. It operates through rhythms and cycles, and right now, the tide has turned in your favor. This is not just poetic, it's a shift in energy that you can feel and harness. Staying awake and aware means being mindful of the signs around you, whether subtle synchronicities or bold breakthroughs that guide you closer to your destiny. Your journey is unfolding, full of potential and promise, and what an incredible moment to be alive in this era of transformation. If this message touched you, share your experiences in the comments. What signs are lighting your path? Remember to like, subscribe, and pass this message to a fellow spirit warrior who might need this encouragement today. Keep shining brightly because your light is changing the world.